Thank you very much. Hello, my name is Pigskin. Nice to be here. I wanted to talk to you today about employment. Yeah. I mean, you all know what you were getting into. You know, you came to an amateur comedy night. You know, it was going to be depressing. Anyway, so let's talk about fucking employment. You know, it's Sunday night, Monday, back to work tomorrow, fun times. It's pretty telling that the most uplifting quote, you know, and the most inspiring quote about work adorned the gates leading into Auschwitz. You know, that tells you pretty much all you need to know. Work will set you free. That's a good one. And when the Nazis are waxing poetical about something, you know you're in trouble. And it's a shame because it didn't have to be this way, you know. Society could have developed in different ways. It could have branched off, you know. And there is still time though, because in a lot of films there is sort of dystopian futures where people do things differently. I'd sign up for anything. If it means I don't need to go to work, I would sign up for anything. Like the Hunger Games, you know. If I didn't need to work, I'd kill a kid. I'd kill a kid. I'd be young adult. I'd kill a young adult. Like tomorrow morning when I need to wake up at 7 o'clock, you know, if someone rapped upon my door with a bow and arrow and said, you need to kill this young adult with this, even just for fucking half an hour more in bed, I would. I'd kill 1,000 young adults. There's still time. There's still time. I am currently working in a call center. I'm that kind of expat, you know. There's a few different vocations. When you meet an expat who's just a husk of a person, like me, like a withered husk, you know that they're a call center expat. I don't mind that so much though, because I am a masochist. So it's kind of like, for me, a phone sex line in reverse, you know, because you just sit there, people call into you and say something like, "No, printer has been offline for like 2 weeks, you incompetent worm, get this sorted out!" And then you just wank, you know. It's make the most of things, you know. That's what I always say. I did try the English teacher thing, you know, the English teaching expat thing for a little while, until I realised I was just teaching Czechs English so they could go on to pretend to not to know how to speak English with greater accuracy. You know, is that all? Sorry, closest metro? I'm sorry, I do not speak English. I do not understand what you're trying to communicate to me right now. I don't understand this metro that you're referring to. Now if you'll excuse me, you foreign worm, I need to make it to the closest metro. Okay, in your quaint, hateful Czech way, I guess that means follow you. I don't know. You see, I know Czech. Yeah, and you know, tour guide as well. That's the third and final expat vocation. I couldn't do that either. I mean, it's you know, I don't mind the cardio, the walking. You know, it's just the history part. You know, you know. The Czech Republic, like a lot of Europe, has a rich, you know, deep history. When we get to kind of nights and shit, I get, it all gets a bit hazy. I wouldn't know how to answer, you know, a lot of people's questions. I don't know where all the orcs went, for one. That's something I have no idea about. Also, you know, which of the 7 kingdoms Czechs descend from, that's another thing I have no idea. I'm sure there's a White Walker joke in there as well, you know, icy, you know. But I've done the metro bit, so I'm going to leave Czechs alone, you know, for obvious reasons. But yeah, I didn't go to university. That's another thing. I do feel left behind, you know, not only in the race for good jobs, but also socially. You know, I came from a bit of a rough background back in the UK. I was in a street gang. We were the Leyland under-7s football league. That was our name. It it wasn't really a street gang, it was actually just an under-7s football league from Leyland. We did commit petty larceny and battery though, so that kind of counts, right? But yeah, I rolled with real scumbags, and even they went to uni, and I feel, you know, very left behind. When I go back to the UK, I feel like, you know, it's great. It's time to catch up with the boys. We always used to, I remember, starve our dogs, and then put them in wheelie bins with cats we'd find, and duct tape the wheelie bin for like 10 minutes. But since they've gone to uni, I mean, they still do that. I'm going to go back to the UK, and we still kind of do that, but they try to intellectualise it, you know. They just stand around the bin and go, at this point, the cat is neither dead nor alive. The cat does not exist. And it's just not the same, you know. That was kind of like the joke was. It was like Schrodinger's impression, but it also turned out to be like an Arnold Schwarzenegger impression. But I can't do an Arnold Schwarzenegger impression either, so I feel I've failed you as a comedian. I'm sorry, guys. But yeah, I am sick of menial jobs, you know, going from menial job to menial job. So I'm thinking maybe I should think a little outside the box, you know, find somewhere that, you know, a job only I can do, you know, a market that isn't as saturated. Jimmy Savile's strippergram, you know. I think I could do a mean Jimmy Savile. If you give me a tracksuit, gold chain, cigar, you know, if you want to be a bit edgy, you know, an edgy parent, you know, you want to get the neighbours talking, you know, a bit risque birthday party, you order a Jimmy Savile strippergram to come to your kid's birthday party, and I'll do it. Jimmy Savile is a paedophile by the way in England. I feel mid-joke that wasn't working, so I apologise again. Another one is a boxer who throws fights for the mob. Because these guys get paid thousands, you know, to pretend to get knocked out in the first round. For that kind of money, I would really get knocked out in the first round. It's all about going that extra mile, you know, customer service. Another one is packing up board games. I can do that, and I'm really good at doing that, okay? I can come round, and I can just, after you've had a board game, I can pack it all up, you know? So just imagine the scene, you know, it's been a cracking game of Monopoly with the fam, you know, but the whole board is in disarray, there's notes everywhere, there's little fucking houses, and this little shoe, and father goes, oh, I'm bushed, I gotta go hit the hay. Son goes, hey, but father, you know, what about this fucking mess here? What are we gonna do? And father goes, don't worry, I'm gonna call the professional. And I come in a suit. You know what, fuck it, why even, you know, forget all calling me and all that stuff, I can live in your wall, you know, I don't mind. You can install like an orifice in your wall, you hit a button, I can kind of slide out, I'm greased, I'm naked, I can slide out, I can kind of just flump on the floor, ride around a bit, and then get up and just pack it all up for you, you know, so all the notes are in the correct, you know, the denominations, you know, all in the correct segments, you know, we have all the cards in the right way around, reshuffled for next time, Monopoly, Clue, or Cluedo, Risk, I can do them all, you know, and it's great, and we're going back to this whole thing about, you know, alternatives to you know, labour for cash that you use for goods and services. We can just drop that whole thing, and I can just live in your wall. You can give me accommodation, and you can feed me just a biscuit every now and again. That's okay. You know, you can install the orifice in your kid's room, that's completely fine. If he's been a bit of a bad boy, you know, and he doesn't eat his sprouts, you can take his sprouts and put his hand in the orifice and he can feed me. I love you, son. I love you, son. I'm sorry, and I'm just there for him, that's the thing. I'm there for him, okay? When he's having night terrors, I'm there just whispering out of the orifice. You're not fucking there. You're here at a fucking amateur comedy show. What are you doing? Your son's at home, alone, okay? But I'm there, I'm always there. I've been really inspired recently about by our world leaders. You know, I find them so. 2016, 17, 18. It's just such an amazing time for world leaders. I'm so, you know, thankful and so inspired. You know, you have Assad. You know, he's a tyrant. He's a horrific tyrant. The guy looks like a fucking cartoon character. This guy, he's full on. He's got a little sausage head, and he's got even got a lisp, and he's like a muppet. You know, I always see him at a desk, and he's like this with these fake hands coming out. It's good to know, because I do feel goofy a lot of the time. I feel like a cartoon character, so it's good to know that for me, genocide is not, you know, out of my reach. It's a viable option for me. Putin as well, he's another one, you know, he's another tyrant, and that's great, it's inspiring. He's a balding autist who can barely contain his homosexuality. You know, does that remind you of anyone in this room? You know, it's good to know that I can get to that pinnacle, you know. Theresa May, another one, she has reached the peak of British politics, you know, as a drag queen. That's amazing. You don't even need to be a convincing female impersonator. It's so inspiring. So this is it. This is day one, my pigskin politician. I'm doing it, starting with you. You can bear witness to this, okay? I'm out of breath, and I haven't thought of my strategy at all. I have no policies. I have nothing, but I'm doing it. Fuck it. 2018. I'm running. I've got fucking flyers here. There's nothing on them again. I haven't got anything. But I want you to take some, spread the word. One moment. Yeah, take some fucking flyers. Spread the fucking word. Take my flyers. Have a flyer. Have a flyer. Give them to your friends. Come on, give them to your son. Come on, get big up. Let's do this. You were here first. This is it. Put them on your wall. I don't know what you do with flyers, but do it. This is it. It's the beginning of something beautiful, okay? Together, guys, we can do it, okay? I'm gonna do this only because it's really memorable. I haven't thought everything through, so I promise I'm gonna swap this out when I think of another hand gesture. But this is just my first, you know, it's just a go-to be honest. So, good guys, my pigskin 2018, let's do it. Can I get your vote? Thank you. Something? Yeah, do it. Thank you. Good night.